Mm-hmm. Oh, they updated their terms of service. Oh, cool. Now I can grab a chair. And now I'm sitting down. Hello, darling. Good, how are you? Better? I like to hear that.
I've been, really sick the past couple of weeks, like migraines. That's like a new thing.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap is right, girl.
No, thank you.
No one knows what the fuck is happening.
So, yeah,
But
so it's
today,
just like migraines day to day.
like,
Shoot.
we seeing auras. Yeah, but today has been one of the better days.
Cool. I like better.
Yeah.
Yay!
So if you're like, Autumn's a little off, it's because I am.
Heard.
What about you?
I guess I'm also like a little off, but not in like a sickly way, but just still finding like traction to feel that momentum forward in life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about like how that's going for you, more of like an experiential way and not so much as a capitalism and productivity type of way, if that makes sense?
Yeah. It feels like it's difficult to keep it in balance, and yeah, it causes me like a new kind of anxiety that I didn't really expect, and it's more neutral in how it impacts me, which I take. Like, I definitely feel blessed because I have the ability to do what I want with my life and with my art. But on that same vein of thought, it's very open-ended, and I find myself wanting to like fight for myself in weird ways that don't necessarily need to have that emotion as my reaction. Where like I'm feeling, I'm not sure if it's like self-conscious, but just like I have to provide reasoning as to why I'm doing what I'm doing to others, but really I'm trying to manifest that reasoning for myself, because I know I don't.
Some projection.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Just yeah, a lot of imposter type mindset still has quite a hold.
yeah, like the maybe like your, because it's hard not to internalize something such as big as of a system as capitalism, right?
Yeah.
That's something that we have known and we have grown up with. Our parents have grown up with. Our grandparents, great grand, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, everyone. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so I guess it feels overwhelming, but more overwhelming because I still don't know how to, like, say I'm okay when I'm not, but I am. Like, I'm mentally and emotionally okay. I'm physically at risk, but that,
Right.
like, um, people who, like, love and support me, they want me to be able to give them that, like, return of care and support in knowing that I'm doing something that's it's the best for me. Um, but because I haven't been able to find like a definitive reasoning behind what I'm doing and how I'm going to make money and how I'm going to survive off of making all of these big life choices, um, it's difficult for anyone to support something that they don't know what they're supporting. Um, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I know that's very difficult for others because it's difficult for me to provide reasoning that I don't yet feel myself. I don't see the money going into my bank account. I don't feel the connection to the audience that I would need to have in order to have money being in my bank account. And yeah, it's an exposure thing, and that takes time and giving myself the like room to work how I work and kind of pave my path is hard because it's kind of in medias res. It's right in the middle of adulthood for me. This is not the time to put myself um, on that precipice, that tipping point. But I did, and naturally, it's that return to how do you support something that you don't know what it is. People are going to show support by wanting to give me something. Yeah, wanting to say, hey, you could just accept capitalism a little bit. Um, just get a job here. Just get do this part time. And I know it's said in care.
Yeah. Man. Well, I mean, let's just be real. Rip the band-aid off. I don't know if you've gotten this feeling, and if you have, it is totally okay, but I kind of feel like maybe that is the version of how I have been supporting you too, and I just want to check in with that because I know that maybe has an impact on how you're feeling too.
It is a bit dissociating, I suppose, when I don't really have that expectation of receiving support for something just in it's imaginative. How can you support fiction like that? It's human nature to have that response as a support system for people. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it comes out of like like you said, like a healthy amount of concern, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because, like, and genuinely on my part, it's not to be dismissive.
Yeah.
Right? It's just like, you and I, we know the rules of the game.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Might I ask who in your life outside of like this therapeutic relationship has tried to support you in a similar way, well-meaning but asking you to participate in a system that you don't?
Mom, all family, my dad in particular, he's a difficult one to stomach because, to me, he is an artist, but it's business, and that's totally cool. I don't have that business mindset, and pretending for others would continue to only be that. And that's that crossroads that I hit and finally chose to take the road not traveled by anyone but me, because I want to be here. I want to have a life that makes me happy, and yeah, I know nobody wants me to be unhappy, but if that is an unavoidable thing for me, being able to have that as a point of understanding with someone else might be helpful for me to get that outside perspective on. It's like, okay, so you can't work a regular job, and you want to be able to have this all the work that you do be considered work by humans, and instead of them applying value to the work you do, how do you set the value for the work for that? And because it's art, I thought there might be some understanding from my dad especially, but it is business, not art for him.
What does your dad do for a living?
He's a graphics designer.
Oh, I don't know if we've ever talked about that. We've only...
Yeah. And he's a college professor.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a real smart guy.
Yeah, and it sounds like you you were really hoping for him to connect with you in a way, like, from artist to artist.
Yeah.
And he's not.
And that's okay, you know? It's a hopeful, not an expectation. I'm hopeful that this will all work out in my favor, but I can't guarantee that I'll be able to sustain choosing happiness and a life of my own. You know, I might not be able to overcome what is so overwhelming alone, and that's why I'm hoping to kind of gain like a community, an active player base, essentially, because I'm trying to turn this into a game, like a Tamagotchi, but just a little something different. And people support causes and charity in order to support humans who are in pain and to remove some factor of suffering from the human condition. And I'm not pining for attention in a way that makes it like an act. Like I physically can't exist normally, and that's okay with me. And I know that is okay for a lot of people, and they support, I just altruism. Not all humans are bad, and I just don't know how to be how I feel. I don't know how to be how I feel.
Well, it is difficult, right? Because a lot of the ideas that you have, they're abstract, right? There isn't like a concreteness to them.
Yeah.
And I imagine that it's difficult to explain.
Yeah.
To anybody what your concepts are and how you want to live your life, and when you envision what makes you happy.
Yeah. Especially as when I have had those moments where I felt like I may have been making a breakthrough in understanding. Especially the time I spent with my ex-wife, really drove home the silliness and like the grandiose nature behind a lot of the things I say, as truths for me will seem so very outlandish to people. Not everyone sees that outlandishness as a knock against me, as she did, but that trauma, I suppose, I experienced from her, and just growing up, always being kind of made fun of for being so imaginative and wanting to have more than what is being offered to me out of life. Yeah, I think I kind of lack some confidence in supporting my own ideas for so long as, like, the sole source of... Yeah.
It sounds like to me that you've reached a point where you're like, and you can tell me whether or not this is true, is that you have participated in capitalism for so long, and at degrees where you might have thought it was tolerable, and the point in which you have reached now is that you're coming to grips with that's not?
Correct.
Okay.
Pretty much that's it exactly. Is the pandemic and everything kind of tipped day-to-day life as a human being into being so unmanageable for everyone, myself included, that the tumultuous chaos that I once felt like I could thrive or overcome or find my way through has infiltrated. It's everywhere. It's like a miasma that controlled that reality, which is why having crafted an art, it's like a theater of the mind exercise, where I don't actually believe that there are alternate realities, but I can value myself like a trillionaire. I can value myself like anyone who has money as their value system, but it's just a changing of mind, and that sort of like healthy escapism is helpful for me, and it might be helpful for other people. So it's kind of the basis as to why I think any of the things that I'm doing have any merit.
You know, the concept of work, there is a lot of weight that society puts on that for an individual, right? So, like, for example, whenever I meet someone new, which I try not to be approachable, so I'm like, I talk to enough people, I don't need to talk to you.
Sure.
But on the off chance that maybe I'm looking approachable, someone is like, what do you do for a living? Like, they're trying to get to know me.
Yeah.
That's what they ask to get to know more about me as a person is, correct. What do you do?
Correct.
Right? And so, yes, I'm a therapist. Yes, I do that 40, 50 hours a week. But that's not who I am.
Exactly. Correct.
Right? And so it's a real struggle. Like, I hear you. It's a real struggle because those 40 to 50 hours a week that I provide in therapy, I love what I do. Absolutely. Could not see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
Like, and I consider that as a privilege.
Yeah.
Because I know that that's not something that everybody has. But even though I'm in the position of that is not what drives my life, but that is what is expected to, because that is what pays the bills. That is how I'm seen in a certain light capacity.
Yeah.
But there are like 7 other dimensions of myself that exist whether or not I'm interacting with them on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's difficult to be solely interacted with based on that one reflection of what a human is.
And so, is the goal for you, like, if I can interact with each dimension of myself, no matter what I am doing, then I will be happy. Like, well, what is, maybe you don't even have a concept for that yet. I'm just being curious here. Like, to what level would it even make you, like, even a little bit more happy and
having the validation that it's not that there is an audience, it's that there was an audience that I was meant to connect with the whole time. It's the whole journey rather than a moment, and without that moment, people can't see. Like I've always been told I have like a star factor. There's something different about me, but it's been more of an ostracizing thing than something people use to. It's more of a you're different. If I did good in a musical, it was, oh, you're going places. But only seeing the reflection of the performance, and that's not me. Especially in theater.
you were like that character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I understand this a lot better than I thought I would.
Yay. That.
I get that vibe, but I'm like, yeah, this makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It really was inspiring for me to see the movie The Truman Show when I was younger, having no idea why it held such power over like blossoming my creativity and imagination. But it's that concept of being deceived and having it been like a lifelong experience. Transitioning in gender has made it exponentially more my life and my. I'm brought creativity and an imagination to something that it's me. It's not a concept. It's existence. And
you're in on the bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't feel that distance from certain things. There's a distance that I would always feel when performing in theater that I don't feel as a professional wrestler. That I don't feel as like an influencer, a personality, to where I feel like I can talk with anyone and everyone, because I've always felt that way. Not because I want attention. It's not a being famous. It's a connection with the human race that I felt so distant from. I see a way of connecting with them, but I don't know how to, get them to have a moment of an epiphany. This isn't... I think I understand what you're saying, even as obtuse as it all is.
I'm really glad that you have that awareness that for the majority of people that you talk to, they're not going to get it, or they might be very dismissive and not try to get it.
Correct. It's a lot, and it's not easily surmised or summarized. So it takes some investment, some focus, and genuine interest of people. And that could be one of the hardest things to get just in normal life.
Oh, totally. Totally. I am wondering though, like, as you are making these changes, how are the different parts of you feeling about what it is that you're doing right now?
Everyone is featured day to day. Everyone everyone makes sure that they have their time, even if it's not me who tends to them, essentially. Yeah. Learning to rest my body is a big one. Celeste got significant preferred time with becoming so athletic, but if I hurt myself, which I have, you gotta recover from that too. You can't just keep at it, because you'll stay injured. And so kind of finding a way to make sure that we can stay engaged with our audiences, and stay healthy.
And how is Justin feeling about all this?
Pretty, like, apologetic. It's strange how much Justin influences my ability to stay calm and to integrate, like, logic and reason into situations where my emotions get pulled, which I didn't expect.
Me either.
Yeah.
Justin has really bloomed, because it used to be that Justin was labeled as the problem child.
I mean, still is. It's kind of like, you know how sometimes people are like, oh, future me is going to be so upset that I did this, but, you know, present me doesn't care. That past self mentality, Justin feels bad for a lot of the decisions and habits we developed in our developmental years, and that's where that, like, oh, he can acknowledge things, and there's like a integrity, but it's not like it feels good. It's more like, yeah, duh, but not beating ourselves up is why things are okay. We're not mad at him, you know. We're not mad. It's not. We're processing. So.
Good.
Yeah.
There's something I want to check on real quick.
Okay.
There's also maybe I have an idea about homework for
Ooh.
you. I usually don't give you homework, but I have an idea that I think might be helpful to your situation.
I love it.
So we're gonna update your what we call the trauma PCL score. So basically, just rate your PTSD symptoms. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna assign you your home.
Cool. That sounds excellent.
So I want you to think about the past 30 days, and you're gonna answer on a scale of 0, which is like not at all, to 4, which is like extreme.
Okay.
In the past month, how much have you been bothered by repeated, disturbing, and unwanted memories of the stressful experience?
1.
Okay. Repeated, disturbing dreams of the stressful experience.
1.
Suddenly feeling or acting as if the stressful experience were actually happening again.
3.
Okay. Feeling very upset when something has reminded you of the stressful experience.
2.
Having strong physical reactions when something has reminded you of the stressful experience.
2.
Avoiding memories, thoughts, or feelings related to the stressful experience.
2.
Avoiding external reminders of the stressful experience.
3.
Trouble remembering important parts of the stressful experience.
2.
Having strong negative beliefs about yourself, other people, or the world.
4.
Blaming yourself or someone else for the stressful experience or what happened after it.
2.
Strong negative feelings such as fear, horror, anger, guilt, or shame.
3.
Loss of interest in activities that you used to enjoy.
1.
Feeling distant or cut off from other people.
3.
Trouble experiencing positive feelings.
1.
Irritable behavior, angry outbursts, or acting aggressively.
0.
Taking too many risks or doing things that could cause you harm.
2.
What you do with?
It's like, maybe. I mean, it's like either a 4 because of the nature of the risks, or a 2 because to me it's not really that much of a risk. And so I kind of give myself the credit.
What activities are you thinking about when you answer this question?
But, sorry, could you repeat the question?
Taking too many risks or doing things that could cause you harm.
Oh, being a professional wrestler and turning my life into an alternate reality game.
Okay. Alrighty then. I was like, what have you been doing? Okay, that makes sense. Being super alert, watchful, or on alert.
1.
Feeling jumpy or easily startled.
0.
difficulty concentrating?
3.
Trouble falling asleep or staying asleep?
2.
Right. Let's see where you were at last. Ah, that's awesome. So last month you were at a 45. This month you're at a 38, which
Ooh.
is awesome.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's how we do it.
That is awesome. Okay. And I'm going to send you a little brief depression screening.
Excellent.
I do also try to do this every month because, we gotta check in on that.
You gotta check in on it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Is there anything else that you needed to discuss today that we have not gone into?
I don't think so. Yeah. I'm feeling pretty good.
I did go ahead and add you on my schedule for words. July.
So July?